This is way better than we thought, as a new report reveals new details about the Rockets signing Josh Okogie. And in this video, we're going to break down how this all happened and what areas of the Rockets defense that Okogie can help out on, as well as expectations for this new team next season. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rockets Digest. I'm your host, Donovan Ricondo, and we appreciate you joining us as always. And we're just going to get straight into the new report today regarding Josh Okogie, right? The new signing for the Houston Rockets just yesterday, and kind of a bit of an unexpected signing or an unexpected player for the Houston Rockets to sign. And a new report regarding that signing is this right here, as Ari tweets out. The San Antonio Spurs, the Detroit Pistons, Atlanta Hawks, and the Los Angeles Lakers also showed interest before Okogie, and his representation chose Houston as Okogie's next destination, league sources say. And I'm going to give my thoughts about this matter in just a second, but I'm going to continue with all the details surrounding Okogie right now. He had a $7.7 million team option for this season, but couldn't find one, so he was waived by the Charlotte Hornets, and that made him a free agent, and the Rockets swooped in. And so he was supposed to get $7.7 million. As we all know, the Rockets got a steal in terms of the financials, right? The Houston Rockets announced that they would be signing Okogie on Tuesday. The team did not announce the terms, but reports classified that the deal as a 1-year, $3.1 million, fully guaranteed. But in that aspect, you're getting Okogie on a $4 million discount. And so that is a huge win for, the cap space, for GM Rafael Stone, for this front office. So that's good news on that point. You're saving $4 million for this depth for your team. Now, Okogie, for those of you that don't know, he's 26 years old. He's a 7-year NBA veteran and former first-round pick by Minnesota, 20th overall in 2018. Played 4 seasons for the Timberwolves before signing with Phoenix in 2022. He played parts of 3 seasons with the Suns before being traded to Charlotte on January 15th of this year. So, with all that said and done, the Okogie brings the Rockets to 14 players with guaranteed contracts, as his contract is fully guaranteed, all $3 million or $3.1 million of it. But the team is hard capped at the first apron of the luxury tax and will not be able to sign a 15th player until well into the season, when a prorated contract amount will drop below the money they have available. In other words, don't expect the Rockets to have a lot of additional moves to be in place, right? Of course, there's the two-way contracts. That's a whole different scenario. But in terms of the 15-man roster that we're bringing town to town, road games and all that stuff, this is kind of where we're at right now. The cap space quite isn't there because there's not much money left for them to have. This was kind of the last move-ish for the Houston Rockets, unless something else transpires. If those things to happen, we will give you the reports on that. But Josh Okogie is the newest addition for the Houston Rockets. So we're going to give you kind of a brief description about him, saying this is from Routers. With the Suns and Hornets last season, Okogie put up career bests in field goal percentage, 44.3, and three-point percentage, 34.8. He is regarded as an excellent on-ball defender, ranking 4th in the NBA in steals per 36 minutes, that's 2.8, in 2024-2025. So, again, he is brought into this team to essentially be another elite defender, right? When you're ranked up high in terms of getting steals and the amount of minutes you play, that is going to be very, very appealing to anybody. And for a defensive-minded coach like Ime Udoka, you say, hey, if we can get this guy for $4 million less than what he was supposed to get paid, by all means, let's go out and get him. Let's add some more defensive depth to this team. That's exactly what they did. And now he is a Houston Rocket. And so when I look at what we have, Amin Thompson, Tari Eason, Dorian Finney-Smith, and now Josh Okogie, it's kind of, you can't wait to see what they do from a defensive perspective. It's all very, very good stuff in terms of getting him for that aspect now. He's not a shooter. He's not a shot creator. He did have a career best in three-point shooting. Still not very great of a percentage. So we don't expect him to really be that kind of offensive threat. And that is kind of the one criticism about this move, right? Is that you didn't really go out, besides Kevin Durant, you didn't really go out and get yourself a shot creator how you had kind of with Cam Whitmore and Jalen Green. You don't have that additional guy like that. with these new signings. And, that is, totally valid criticism. But at the other end, defensively, this team is going to be probably the best defensive team in the NBA next year. When you look at the roster, when you look at the depth, and you look at who they have and who is guarding and what teams have to face, Amen Thompson is guarding probably your best player, if not second best player. And then a switch happens, and now KD's on him, or Dorian Finney-Smith's on him, or Tari Eason's on him. And so when you have that in your back pocket, if you're the Houston Rockets, this team is probably going to do a lot of switching next year with Josh Okogie, with Amen Thompson, with whoever they have. And so it's going to be very cool to see how all of that transpires. And James Piercy of Space City Scoop had this to say about the whole situation, which is a very realistic perspective on the whole thing, on the signing. He's saying, quote, "Let's start with the bottom line. This is a 1-year, $3.1 million deal. It's not substantial. If Okogie can't crack the rotation, he's not taking up a meaningful portion of the Rockets' short-term cap, and they'll let him walk in the summer. The Rockets needed backcourt depth. At 6'4", Okogie is a viable off guard, even if he plays like a wing. It's already apparent that the Rockets are treating the 2 spot like a wing position, so Okogie will fit right in. So this is a solid signing, even if it's not a perfect one. And I can't disagree with that, right? Like, he just provides that backcourt depth that, this front office was looking for. You have a guy who can play really good defense. He can score 6 points a game, which is kind of what you need. You don't need anybody to score 20. You weren't going to find anybody who scores 20 points per game with the amount of cap space you have left. And so you are dealt the cards you have, and you get a guy like Josh Okogie, which is a very good sign if you're a betting guy. The Houston Rockets, plus 800 favorites to win the NBA championship next year. I don't agree exactly with this order. I don't know why the heck the New York Knicks are up there, if you ask me. I'm sure they're a good team, but I don't think they should be above the Rockets by any means. But, Oklahoma City Thunder is the favorite to come out of the West. Denver Nuggets is right behind them. And then the Houston Rockets in third place in terms of that aspect. And so this is a very, very interesting time to see, what other teams do, how they fill out their rosters in preparation for the 2025-2026 NBA season. So the Houston Rockets, they're making moves. They've done an amazing job with the cap space of their roster and what it all looks like. And so I'm very excited to see exactly how it all pans out. Again, the expectations heading into the 2025-2026 NBA season, if you're a Houston Rockets fan, are very high. They are very, very high, highest they've been in quite some time. And so with all this kind of, betting on KD bringing a championship within the next 2-3 years and making the moves that we are now, having the contracts the way they're all set up, where people aren't making as much money that they will in probably like 3-4 years down the road. That includes Şengün, Thompson, all those guys. Now is the time to win, right? You're on a ticking clock. And if you're GM Rafael Stone or if you're Ime Udoka, you know that the time to win is now. That is the expectation. That is the goal for this season. That's a very realistic goal. Last season, it was, okay, how do we get better from a 500 season? This season is completely different. This is a completely restructured team with this new signing. And going back to Josh Okogie, I just want to say that it's good to have a player that, there's a bunch of teams interested. The Lakers, the Spurs, the Pistons, the Atlanta Hawks. These teams are all interested in Josh Okogie, but he ultimately decides, him and his representation, that he wants to sign with the Houston Rockets. And what that tells me is that he wants to help this team win a championship, do whatever he can. Again, he's not going to be your primary scorer. He's not going to be the guy that's going to score 20 points. He understands what his role is. He understands that he is a depth piece and he is a defensive piece that Ime Udoka can use in his schemes throughout the entire regular season. And so with that, I am excited to see that he is excited to play for the Houston Rockets and be a part of a team that is going to be really good next season. Again, third favorite to win to win the Western Conference and one of the favorites to win an NBA championship next season. So to see him want to be a part of that is a great. The fact that we were able to get him on a discount is fantastic. It's overall, I think this is a win for the Houston Rockets. I think it's a solid move. Again, you still have a little bit of weaknesses in terms of players that can create shots for themselves, and that it's going to be a problem for the entire regular season. I think that's one of the chances that this front office and this team is willing to take, and we'll see if that pays off. Well, we're going to see if that is going to work out. If that's not going to work out, can KD carry the load? Can Reed Shepherd, up his PPG for next season and make that improvement himself? Alperen Şengün, how much of a breakout year? How much better is he going to be this upcoming year? Ahmad Thompson, same thing goes for him. Jabari Smith Jr. just signed a $122 million contract. And so we're all going to see how it all pans out. But the pieces are there. The ingredients are there. Now we just got to cook. That's all we got to do. And now I just want to bring it back to you guys. What do you think about this Josh Okogie signing? Do you think it's a good one? Do you think it's a bad one? I personally think it's a great one, considering the price. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Let him walk next season or next summer. But overall, another good signing for a GM, Rafael Stone. And so with that, that pretty much wraps this episode of Rockets Digest. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you've made it to the end of the video, that tells me you're a true Rockets fan. Go ahead and do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already. And if you have, thank you very much. Appreciate you. All right, we'll see you on the next one. Take care.